Hello. So I think this is day 22. I never know until I go to post it. But and I'm trying to get this glare out of my glasses. I would just not wear them. However, I can't see. That happened a couple of years ago, and then I realized the record of not having any eye problems is broken. It's your turn. Anyway, it's old age, I guess, or could be partially because nowadays all we do is look at a screen, right? But so today it's kind of like a confession. I'm frustrated with myself because here I am doing all this work, and it's kind of hard when you get busy. Life gets busy, work gets busy, home gets busy, all that stuff. So I'm not gonna beat up on myself too much, but it's supposed to be about self-love. And here I am, afraid to tell one of my closest friends at work about my channel. And I'll tell you why. Because I value her opinion a lot. Like, she has given me a lot of wisdom. She's kind of like an older sister to me in a way. And we kind of have similar morals and how we feel on things should be, and everybody should be equal, and life should be, be nice to you and I'll be nice to me, and everybody gets a piece of the pie type of thing. So but at the same time, I feel like some of the esoteric, did I say that right? I don't know, stuff that I do, because I am into tarot, and that's another thing too, is I always talk about how I don't think there should be one belief and but I do believe in some stuff. And with that, I feel okay, so let me explain it to people so they don't think I'm just crazy. But then again, why am I explaining myself, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Why I feel like it works for me is because I feel like sometimes we need, just remember when I was talking about symbolisms, there's certain things that, when they come up, it's kind of like your mind and your inner self talking to you, whether that's the universe or the Great Spirit or God or whoever, having that happen and then you interpreting that. That's kind of how that works. A lot of people say that they channel, all that type of thing. I don't feel like I have that ability, Do I question that ability? No, I don't, because like I said before, there's so many things that have happened to me, or just feelings that I've experienced in my life that, or coincidence, or just things that have happened that were not just because. And a lot of times when I do stuff like that, you'll get I guess people could argue it's all in your head. It's you're interpreting it that way. But I think there's a large amount of people that believe in manifestation. Now, do I think that it follows every rule? No. I feel like that's my thing. My thing is I take a little bit of everything and what works for me. And maybe, I don't know, is that a good way to be? I'm starting to wonder, am I just picking out what works for me? And I think maybe that's what it is. So, yeah. All right. But I've met some really, I don't want to say met because a lot of it's been on YouTube, but I did meet this really crazy, I don't want to say crazy, but the situation was crazy, okay? So let me explain this to you. There's this woman, and through my work, I can't really say who she is because in a way it would kind of be HIPAA, but she was this, she had this book out, she met some really big name people in esoterics and things like that. And I remember, because of a situation, because of my job, I had to go to her house. Now she's an older lady now, so and I was questioning myself because I was well, I don't want people to think I'm crazy, but I really like some of this woo-woo stuff, as I call it, or whatever, and and when I kind of anti organized religion, but at the same time I know in my heart and I know in my spirit that there's something, and I just feel we interpret it, and that's what it is. Honestly, I don't have an answer, and I like that I don't have an answer. That makes me more empowered and feel like it's more good. And I also feel like that's what gives me the ability to say I don't have fear. So I'll get back to that in a minute. I do have fear, but it's fear of failures in myself, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I have the rational fear, like if I go in the woods in the dark, it's a bear gonna come get me. That's a rational fear, because that's, you're putting yourself in a situation. Or, you know, do I fear for my kids because other people have bad intentions? And do I fear for my kids' future because of a current situation that we're in? Yes, greatly. And that's another story for another topic, because I'm trying so hard to not get lost in frustration and not to get lost in doubt and fear, because that's when, if you give up, then you're letting them win. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to divide people even more. So it's really frustrating, because now you see people give up that would never give up before. It's like, oh, don't do that. That's what they want you to do. But anyways, so here's my crazy rant about tarot. And it's not just tarot. There's other things too. So, but what I think is, it's a part of you that understands symbolism, and that's why religion works, right? That's why cultural things work. But at the same time, it's, like I said, literally, it all has to do with your intentions. So somebody can pull the same card for you, and it's going to mean 10 different things, right? Now, a lot of times it'll resonate, and it'll, if it's meant for you, like they say, then yeah, it's good for you. But then you have people that'll sit there and be like, oh, what does that mean? And they'll base their whole life on it, and da 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 da. The best tarot readers I have found are the ones that kind of give you kind of like situations, and they kind of you know, tell a story that, like, it's not so much like this is going to happen or that's going to happen. This is the energy of this, and how it would be, how you could apply it to your life. Do you know what I'm saying? So kind of like advice. And for some reason, it just seems to click with me, and I don't know. So I'm just telling you that that's something I do. If you think I'm crazy, whatever. I guess I'm getting over that hump, being afraid of people thinking I'm crazy. So with my really good friend, she all of a sudden started going to church. She lost a lot of people in her family lately, and she knows my feelings about, you know, not letting people corrupt you. And again, I'm not anti-church. I'm not anti-Christianity. I take parts from that too. Do you know what I mean? But here's a funny thing too. For years when I was younger, I said, well, to me, I always thought that, like, you know, Jesus was more like a Buddhist. And then bam, that's a theory. I didn't know that was a theory. So it makes sense to me. So apparently I'm not the only crazy one. But anyways, boy, I'm probably losing a lot of stuff. But anyway, my point is, I'm done trying to be afraid of being who I am. Really, it's stupid. And it's causing me to lose sleep. All I want is, I want people to understand that life really doesn't have to be so serious, where you're like, this person is against me, that person is against me, I don't agree with what you're doing, so I don't like you, and I'm going to make sure your life is miserable. That kind of thing, right? I feel like in everything, and like right now in America politically, what we really need to do is get everybody in a same room and be like, okay, somehow there's some magical thing where you can't lie and you can't tell untruths. You have to do the right thing regardless of what you believe. You have to be honest about it, right? And then we have a discussion. But that's impossible, because people, right? So there's that. And I'm frustrated because it's, you know, I'm trying not to pay attention to that, because it just overwhelms me, and negativity does snowball, you know. So anyways, so there's a lot of other things that I believe in that are kind of woo-woo. And do I like 100% base my life on everything thing like that? No. But do I base myself on knowing that there's something out there, and knowing that there's a deep something within me, and it's within everybody, and I do feel like we're all connected. I mean, and it's important to me to explore that. So, but at the same time, I think it's awful and somewhat hilarious when you get people that are in those type of circles too, and they're like, well, you know, Christianity is this and da da da, but in the same time they're saying that people are having fake awakenings and things like that. It's like, well, you're being the same way. Like, I guess the moral of the story is we're only human. I almost broke out into a song there. Jason Mraz, he's good. Anyways, I'm liking my yellow shirt. Makes me feel like April O'Neil. So it's a Beastie Boy shirt. I can't see it, but that's all right. Anyways, so yeah, I think this is me saying I am not hiding myself, because that's dumb, right? It's stupid. I'd rather people be like, oh, well, you do that? That's weird. Well, yeah. So, do you know what I mean? I don't know. I need to meditate more.